Apple has just announced the release of a new Apple TV 4K 2022 model coming next month, which is a bit of a surprise. Before this, Apple had kept us waiting for nearly 4 years to update its streaming box, and then finally, last year, the 2021 version came out. So what's the difference of this 2022 model compared to the 2021 model? Alright, so while this year's model offers an almost identical design to the Apple TV 4K from 2021, there are actually a lot of major differences inside. When it comes to high dynamic range standards, the 2021 Apple TV 4K had been upgraded to support Dolby Vision, but the new device for 2022 also supports the competitive HDR10 Plus standard. Is this a major deal? Well, the static HDR10 format is backwards compatible with Dolby Vision. This means that HDR10 video can be played on any Dolby Vision compliant device. The HDR10 Plus, on the other hand, boosts overall brightness and can add dynamic metadata as well as automatically adjust the brightness. This means that if a piece of content supports HDR10 Plus rather than Dolby Vision, you'll get the best of both worlds. Now keep in mind there are plenty of streaming services that do rely on HDR10 Plus, including Hulu, Paramount, and Prime Video. But you gotta note that the latter has chosen to support Dolby Vision again very recently. Another difference that Apple brought in with this new model is the processor. The 2022 model represents an admirable improvement over an A12 Bionic powered second generation Apple TV 4K. The new A15 Bionic, which this 2022 model has, which is a variation of the potent chip Apple uses in the 2021 iPhone 13 range, is now powering the new version of Apple TV 4K. Apple claims that it's up to 50% quicker than the previous generation, which will lead to more fluid gaming performance and a snappier UI. In addition, the GPU performs 30% better than the previous version. What's more is that the entire bundle uses less energy, which is fantastic news for Apple Arcade subscribers. Next up, the Siri Remote received a new update. Last year, a new design with a one-piece aluminum body was added to the remote. With the updated model, the same 5-way clickpad control wheel is available, and touch gestures are supported on the clickpad as well. You can jog through TV and movie content with the clickpad's outer ring, which enables a circular motion. So what's different with this 22 model? Well, USB-C. The new Siri Remote, instead of a Lightning port from 2021, now uses USB-C. Apple has actually decided to come down with the pricing. The 64 gig Wi-Fi only model of the Apple TV 4K starts at just $129. But to add to that, customers can now get a 128 gig model with gigabit Ethernet port and thread mesh networking capability for $149. They separated the pricing between the two models to give customers more of an entry-level and a more prosumer-level model. This means that the second, slightly more expensive model will allow them to connect to even more smart home devices. Besides all of that, the Siri Remote with USB-C is also sold separately for $59. After going through this new model and comparing it to last year's, my final verdict is that this is just not worth the upgrade. Like I said in the beginning, Apple just came out with a new version in 2021, and this release was honestly pretty random and unnecessary for the most part. If you're someone that already owns the 2021 model, just skip out on this one. Now I do understand the appeal of that new remote with the USB-C port, so if you really want to get that, you can just buy it separately. For those looking to upgrade from an older generation or plan on switching to Apple TV, the 64 gig version should do you just fine. But if you really want the Ethernet connection and thread support, you'd have to get the 128 gig model. In the end, the Apple TV 4K is just a fast and snappy streaming device, so there's no need to get the latest and greatest every time a new one comes out. In case you missed it, check out my Apple TV 4K tips and tricks videos showing you how to get started with your Apple TV and how to use the new Siri Remote. Link in the card above and in the description box below. With all that said, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, leave a like, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest Apple content. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.